You were born with only two fears, the fear of falling and the fear of loud noise. Everything else was installed. Welcome to the feed, where we discuss everything. The one inside your head right now was built 200,000 years ago. It wasn't designed to scroll through a million lives in a day. It wasn't made for notifications, deadlines, traffic jams, or tax returns. It was crafted by nature to do something far more primal. It evolved to sense danger, to smell rain before it fell, to track footprints in the dirt, to follow stars across a desert sky, to sit quietly by a fire, and maybe remember the sound of your mother's voice. It was built for a tribe of 150 people. One campfire, one life, one rhythm. It was not made for 24-hour news, or job pressure, or comparing your worth to strangers. Yet here we are. But here's the thing, no one tells you. You were only born with two fears. That's it, only two. And every other fear, it was installed later, like an app or a virus. Psychologists call them innate fears, the ones hardwired into you before the world got to you. The first, the fear of falling. The second, the fear of loud sounds. Everything else, the fear of failure, rejection, being judged, speaking up, being left behind, not being enough, wasn't there when you arrived. In 1960, two researchers at Cornell University, Eleanor Gibson and Richard Walk, conducted an experiment called the visual cliff. They built a platform, half solid surface, half glass, with a patterned drop below to simulate a cliff. They placed crawling babies at the edge. On the other side was their mother, smiling, encouraging, calling them gently. But most babies refused to crawl forward, even though they had never fallen before. Even though they didn't yet understand what danger meant, their bodies knew. Something ancient inside them whispered, "Don't fall." That was fear number one, installed at birth. The second fear shows up even earlier. Newborns just a few days old flinch and cry at sudden loud noises. This reflex, called the Moro reflex, is an evolutionary defense system. In the wild, sound meant danger, a twig snapping, a storm brewing, a predator too close. Noise was a warning. That reflex still lives in you. That's it. Falling and loudness. That's all you brought with you from the cave. But then the world arrived, and it taught you everything else. You learned to fear speaking in public because someone laughed at you once. You learned to fear being different because they told you to fit in. You learned to fear failure because your worth was tied to performance. You learned to fear silence because nobody showed you how to listen to it. You learned to fear being seen because the world rewarded masks more than truth. Your ancient brain, the one built to chase antelope and find shelter, was suddenly thrown into a digital storm of opinions, expectations, and noise. So it adapted. It rewired itself. It got scared. But here's the truth. If a fear was installed, it can be uninstalled. You don't need to carry all that weight. You were born with two fears, and limitless curiosity, and a light inside that the world tried to dim. So maybe your real journey is not to learn more, but to unlearn what was never yours to carry. Let that sink in. You came here with just two fears and a billion possibilities.